Welcome back. Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Tuesday morning from our Click Here digital studios, as always, on Interline Avenue right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, helping you out with all of your digital marketing plans. And somebody who's got a great relationship with Click Here and a great relationship with the community and LSU, who we love to talk with and about our state, is Gordon McKernan, of course, of the G Squad. They've got offices all over the state of Louisiana, and has somebody who has become the face of NIL. I don't know if he likes that or not, but somehow that is where he sits, and it's always good to catch up with him as we have invited him into the studio here on this Tuesday morning. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of action happening at this time of the year. I saw you at the first pitch banquet.
Yeah.
And then I got a press release yesterday that you guys signed Jordan Wright.
Yep.
Which is a Baton Rouge native. Let's start with the baseball stuff. Obviously, they made the national championship run. I've got the hat on from last year. Love the hat. I get compliments on the hat everywhere I go. But obviously, that was up in Omaha. What does year 3 feel like with Jay Johnson now that he's got his ring?
Very focused. And I love the word at the banquet the other night, attack. They did that intentionally. If you think about it, if you know Jay and you know his philosophies of life, you don't want to hear the word, we're defending anything. We're not defending. We're attacking everything. And just talking to the guys and listening, you can see that that's their mindset. Mm-hmm. And they're very focused, and I think they're looking forward to competing this year, especially with that bullpen. Yeah, bullpen is deep, almost as deep as any they've ever had, is what they're saying. Right. You know, even losing Skeens, it's just the depth of it.
Well, I mean, to lose the number 1 and number 2 pick and be a top 5 team, I think tells you what he's been doing. Yeah,
he's just different. He's just wired different. If you've gotten to spend time with him or eat with him, he's got that Saban-like focus. Mm-hmm. The rest of his life really doesn't matter. He's married, and he's a long relationship with his wife and all. But outside of that, there ain't much.
Yeah, like baseball. No kids.
Yeah,
right. Like
doesn't I started trying to draw out hobbies. Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
I remember when he got hired, he told the administration, I'm buying a house near the facility because I'm going to be here the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even really need to be home.
He's not meaning. I was trying to. Okay, hey, where do you like to travel? Well, we don't really travel. Of course you travel in the office. No, I'm working on baseball.
Recruiting.
He's that serious, that focused, that driven.
Right. Do you remember that point in your life? I mean, when did you really start to?
Yeah, it was early on. I remember being like that when you're trying to prove yourself to the world, right? And early mornings, being at the office at 5:30 in those days and coming home at 8 or 8:30. I was fortunate. My wife also worked at the law firm for the first 5 years of our marriage. And so she'd come in at 8:30. I'd go up and see her, and then she'd leave at 5, and I'd see her goodbye. We could eat lunch every day, but there were lots of 5:30 to 8 days, 8:30 days, and there are days.
Right. I know when my son met you for the first time, he was mesmerized by seeing you in person because he'd see you in billboards and see you in commercials and see you everywhere. You get that a lot now, right? Yeah. I saw a great piece of what you did from a content creative standpoint where a family came in and the kid was really, it was kind of in awe of meeting you, and then you kind of humanized yourself. Have you really realized that over the last couple of years? I mean, is that seems to probably happen to you more than it used to?
It happens more than I probably thought it would. I'm fortunate that that picture on the billboard doesn't look as much like me anymore. It's about 10, 12 years old, right? And it had a nice Photoshop and makeup on it, so they're like, you kind of look like that guy on the billboard. He's a lot younger. I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. And Alex in my marketing department is on me to put up a new billboard, picture.
Right.
I'm like, holy
chill out, Alex.
Yeah, come on, man.
Right. Just do one with the beard.
Like the 35-year-old.
Right. Do a hunter's version, and
that's
then you
right.
have the
beard's the duck hunting beard. I got one more hunt this weekend, and duck season will be over, unfortunately.
Wow. So tell me the latest of NIL. What is the latest?
Yeah, so what we're doing, and you may have kind of seen a few little things, but I got the idea late in football season to try to showcase or highlight the non-revenue generating sports, some of the women's sports, right? The women's basketball team is arguably almost revenue generating now, right? It's certainly publicity producing, right? I mean, they're a celebrity squad when they travel, and got to thinking about these women athletes who really train hard. Their demands on them are just like football players, just like men's basketball, but they get very little notoriety. And we've kind of started a campaign of trying to sign multiple women in multiple non-revenue sports, soccer, tennis, swimming,
Did you sign a dance team member, the national championship dance team?
Yeah, it won't shine them. And they're athletes. The cheerleaders and the dance girls, they're Tiger girls. They're all athletes. So we've been doing that and planning to do that for a few more months, right? While all the time staying very active when called upon, so to speak, to get into the NIL football space. We'll sign you'll see over the next month or so probably 5 baseball players. So we're still pushing hard in the main sports, the revenue generators, right? Football, baseball, basketball. We just finally went with Jordan because that was a story. Just Jordan and my son played together, Red Storm, growing up, right? So I got to know Jordan through that, and when he came home, I said, "Wow, this could be an interesting little story." And then, wow, look at him playing. He's just keeps rising and rising. He's still the same young man you would expect growing up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Just a good guy, down to earth. He's got his future mapped out in his head. So he was an easy one for me to do.
Yeah.
Right?
You and Mulkey have had a great relationship since she's shown up. The ride along the other day I thought was great content. What do you make of this week for her and her team and what's coming in here on Thursday night with Dawn Staley in South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean they're undefeated. They're the only undefeated team in the country. I went to the Arkansas game. I guess what, Sunday, and they're peaking. They're starting to pull it together. You can see.
Yeah.
I would expect, knowing Kim, that game, win or lose, she obviously wants to win it. But there are other things she's going to want to try to accomplish with that game. Just knowing her, there's markers she's looking for. Are we doing this better? And was our defense consistent for this amount of time? How was our rebounding from our non-two bigs? Right? She's going to be looking for other things that in her mind, if I can get this going, I need to pull that together for the tournament. And that's not what I think she'll be looking at. Love to win, but I don't think it's going to crush her if we don't win. Obviously, it'll be a big night, ESPN and all that. A lot of energy. I'm sure she'll be fired up. And as I tell, whoever sits with me, I'm down there kind of low, and I say, the action's out here at the game. The game's here, but the action's really over there. Watch her.
It's worth the price of admission.
So mesmerizing to watch her during a game, how she works. The coaches, the other team, everybody. She's
the best. I ask you this all the time when I see you about the NIL space, and I think I say this on my NIL rants. It's not your responsibility to do what you're doing, right? I mean, like LSU, all Louisiana colleges who you support and who you have NIL deals with, I don't think they understand the commitment that you have shown to these schools and what has proven to keep them competitive. At what point does this, get regulated? At what point does Gordon McKernan not have to exist in every college town?
I mean, I think there will always be people like me who love the program, support the program, and want to help the program, even with whatever iteration of NIL is going to come, right? You're still going to have Todd Graves in there. You're still going to have Ben Bordelons and guys like that who want to help the program. But obviously something is coming. It's chaos. I mean, the coaches don't want to be there as much in terms of, as inside information. That's why Saban just said, enough. Can't deal with this. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. I'm too old to do this. Talking my buddy over at Texas, right? And he acknowledges we're really benefiting from NIL, right? And if you look at Texas's roster now, what they did last year, where their preseason ranked now, who they pulled through the portal, it is certainly benefiting the haves, right? I mean, if you got money and you could play in the space, you're going to do a lot better. And most times with anything in government or things like that, the have-nots tend to vote themselves into power. So I would imagine you'd see all these schools who look up and say, we can't compete. Congressional action will get involved to help. It has to. There has to be some framework, somebody who holds everybody accountable, and it's just not how it is right now. It's just.
Is it panic calls, or do you have a allotment that you say, fellas, go do what you need with this, or is it, Gordon, we got to have you?
No, I mean, it's not panic. I mean, Bayou Traditions, Carlos and those guys are doing a great job. People are giving more. The collective funds are rising just like they are across the country. They have to. If you're not going to rise and you're not going to be, spend a substantial amount of money. I'm talking double and triples what we spent early on. You have to, because Texas is even double us. And you have to be able to compete with them. So there are more people get involved. They're doing a great job. LSU and Scott are always very creative and raising money for the whole entire program. So we're doing a great job competing. It's just that you got a few schools that are playing with it with a different set of rules because of
Right.
the amount of money they have.
Like Ohio State.
Yeah,
Like when
they
you,
just-
I mean, like they
yeah.
just kind of
Yeah, they get just
grocery
more money.
shopping. We'll take
Yeah,
two of those. We'll take two of those. I mean,
Yeah, when you have when our state's 4.5 million people, you got states with 10, 12 million people. You're just going to have a deeper donor base.
Right.
And how do you compete with that?
As
Yeah.
Alabama is slowly figuring it out
Yeah.
after the king has left.
Yeah, damn.
What do you mean NIL?
Yeah, that's those poor guys. You think
Yeah,
about it, they just
didn't know you had to do
timed that
that.
wrong. They thought
Yeah.
they had it timed right, but then the NCAA allows an extra 30 days. Everybody else can shop off your menu, off your guys, but you can't go and still sign other places.
That's right. Right. The bike giveaway was awesome.
Bike
again this
giveaway is
year.
great as always. I think it was 12th or 13th year, and that's always a good thing to get around the state and do that. I think the communities appreciate it, so we're happy to give back where we can.
From everybody out there who supports their college and for your support of our show, thank you.
You're welcome.
As always, for what you do. It's great to see you.
Yeah, love the
as-
space, love the
yes.
studio and the layout and everything y'all are doing here, and you've got a creative team and people following you. Like Jordy Culotta's growing up, man. Just
That's
Don't
right.
sitting here
Anybody.
watching all
I've got a
this
model
happen
I'm following.
before my eyes. I'm watching this play out and unfold. Congratulations on all your success.
I appreciate you very much. How is the content creating going?
Oh, it's great. We got some really good people. Taylor and
Yeah.
Alex and Molly and Lauren, Emily. I mean, the other day I think I counted up my marketing department's 15 people.
Wow.
I mean, a law firm. I mean, like, are y'all crazy? We have 15 people to do all this, but apparently we do. So,
Right.
But it's a lot of fun. you know.
Yeah. Great to see you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you as always.
Yep.
Gordon McKernan from the G Squad, the president of the G Squad. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show right after this from Click Here Digital.